And I found out early that I was a good salesperson, that I really liked business. Like I like sports. I mean, I read everything I possibly could, played sports as much as I could, just wasn't as good as I wanted to be. And business was the same way. I mean, as long as I could remember, I was buying and selling baseball cards, garbage bags, whatever I could find, stamps, to collectors. But I was also reading everything I possibly could about business. And, I was that unusual kid that I'd rather read about Ted Turner than go to the movies. And so I think that created a foundation. And my parents didn't always, my dad used to always say, I don't understand what you're doing, but I'm glad you're doing it. And so I had my ups and downs along the way, of course. But I just think that I just put in the time and was fortunate enough to really get excited about business, and that paid off benefits.
Getting rich is not as hard as most people think. It doesn't matter if you're a 9-to-5 worker, a single mom, or even a college undergraduate. You can start right now and take actionable steps that will lead you to financial prosperity. All you need to do is to study the lives of those who have done it before and do what they did. Mark Cuban is a prime example here. The well-known money shark is a serial entrepreneur, investor, and owner of the Dallas Mavericks company. He currently has an estimated net worth of around $6 billion US. Cuban started making money as early as college, accumulating up to $15,000 before graduation. So how did Mark Cuban go from saving $15,000 in college to becoming a billionaire by 40? Well, let's dive into it. Here's how to get rich in 5 simple steps according to Mark Cuban. Number 1, practice frugal living and avoid debt. Frugal living is simply the act of living below your means. It's one thing that rich people practice, but low earners never seem to learn. You see, it's not about how much money you earn. What's more important is how much you spend. As far back as college, Mark Cuban mastered the art of managing his income, as little as it was. He spent much of his early teenage years with 5 other roommates in a 1-bedroom flat. This way, rent was not much of a problem, so he would rake up his savings. Some young people his age would have preferred to pay for a personal apartment alone so they could enjoy comfort and focus. Some would even go as far as obtaining a student loan that would only put a hole in their pockets later. Mark's frugal lifestyle gave him the discipline to work on his first company, Micro Solutions, and build it to the point where he sold it for $6 million US. Even as a millionaire, Mark Cuban still lived like a student. He never lavished money at parties or bought expensive cars or houses. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't buy a car or a house if you need one. I'm saying you should master your emotions, gain discipline over money, and never practice emotional spending. And most of all, never allow yourself to get into debt. Your little spending habits are what determine your net worth in the long run. So, if you truly want to become rich, don't act rich until you are rich indeed. Spending lavishly will just delay your progress to wealth or sabotage it altogether. Remember, you're not in a competition with anybody, so don't try to impress others with your looks, cars, etc. Just focus on growing your wealth and becoming financially free. Make sure you spend less than you earn and always have some reserve as savings, just like Mark Cuban did. If you're in debt, rid yourself of debt first and then start building income. Cuban even advises that the best investment you could ever make is paying off your credit cards. Number 2, get a job, but start something small by the side. Cuban once said, "Your biggest enemy are your bills." And this is true. Bills are the very thing that make us endure working at jobs we don't like. And they're the same things that drive so many people all over America into debt. So, to meet your daily needs, you need a job as a basic source of income. But to get rich, you need another source of income. Mark Cuban's first job was to resell garbage bags in his neighborhood, making profits of $2 to $3 per sale. It was the first subscription-based garbage bag business of its kind, and it was this money he used for pocket money. But Mark didn't stop there. He began to cook up ideas for his first true business. You see, your job will almost certainly never make you rich. You have to go out of your way to build something, a side hustle, that would truly make you rich or successful. You can work on this side business during your free time or at night. Either way, ensure that you take care of your bills first, which is why you shouldn't quit your job just yet. At least not until your side business has grown big enough to bring substantial income. But it was only until his second business went public that Mark Cuban's net worth skyrocketed to $300 million. At this point, Cuban knew he was a multimillionaire and began to adjust his lifestyle accordingly. Now, he could buy a house, car, and stuff like that without worries. 3. Own assets. As far back as college days, Mark Cuban started investing part of his income into stocks. This is one of the smartest moves you can make, especially if you're still a youth. You'll never get rich by working a job because no job out there will pay you millions of dollars every year. And so your goal should be to own an asset or be part of something that increases in value over time. And so buying stocks of companies with high growth potential can be very lucrative in the future. Even as a billionaire, Mark Cuban doesn't dare to miss out on investment opportunities. He's one of the generous investors on the Shark Tank show, always ready to buy into new startups with high growth potential. Building wealth is all about owning stuff. This is why investors and company owners have always been and will always be the richest in society. Until you can find a way to make your money work for you, you'll have to work for your money all your life. You can't build true wealth on your own. You need assets and people working for you to make more money while you also work to make yours. 4. Pursue value, not passion. You've probably heard the saying, follow your passion. Well, Mark Cuban belongs to the camp of people who don't agree with this saying. Cuban expressly stated in a 2018 interview that passion isn't the main thing people should focus on because most times your passion won't be financially viable. You see, time is money. So, let's say, for instance, your passion is playing games or dancing. What are the chances you'll become a multi-millionaire from gaming or dancing? The situation becomes even more appalling when you consider that most people don't even have a flair or talent for their supposed passion. And so following your passion is like following the long road. In fact, most people even hit a dead end. You see, for every person that makes a ton of money from their passion, there are millions more that go broke because of it. So what's the smart thing to do? Pursue value. If you're serious about making money and making it big like Cuban, learn to offer value. Money will follow value. Every dime you spend, you do so in exchange for a good or service, which translates to value. The value of the item you're buying determines the amount of money you spend. So to be rich, find something of value that is in high demand, or think of a service that people are deeply seeking and deliver. Be smart. During a CNBC interview, Cuban said there's no person on this planet who hasn't had that, oh my God, I've got this idea moment. Sadly, only a few take action. Most people are so addicted to their monthly paychecks that they wouldn't even dare to plunge into the unknown to explore the potential of their ideas. This is why most people stay poor or average till they die. Remember, for every lucrative idea you fail to explore, someone else will run with it. 5. Find your talent, purpose, or gift and maximize it. Everyone is born with a gift, a talent, and something that gives them purpose. If you can find and harness it to become great, you'll be rich. This is about the only way your passion can make you successful. If you're passionate about music but aren't a talented musician, you'll struggle all your life. But it becomes a roller coaster when you're both talented and passionate about it. Cuban believes everyone in the world is good at something, but the first hard part is to find it. Once that's done, you only have to work hard at it to become great. It could be drawing, writing, coding, or anything. Just find that one thing which you're better at than everyone else. And if you don't have any, it means you haven't tried enough things to figure out what it is you were born to do. Some people figure out their talents from childhood, but others don't until they're much older, or they come under pressure. Whichever way, don't let it go to waste. Work hard to fine-tune it. Remember that hard work always beats talent. Cuban had an innate marketing skill, which he began to exploit ever since he was a kid. He would resell baseball cards, stamps, garbage bags, or anything else he could lay his hands on. This way, he mastered the art of selling, and it paved the way for other opportunities. Sometimes, mastering your craft will entail educating yourself on associated knowledge. So always read and study anything that could improve your skill, talent, business, etc. It's one thing billionaires like Mark Cuban do to stay ahead of the game. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you found this content valuable, and I'll see you in the next one.